Hi guys, new game. I am Sherlock Holmes. I will be investigating crimes and I will be distributing punishments. This game I think was free on Amazon a while back and I thought it looked interesting, so let's give it a try. Cool music. Let's go. I hope I've done English. Yes, I have, in memory of the Ukrainian Heavenly Hundred. Let's see how we get on with this. Crimes and Punishments, Sherlock Holmes. Who's Wiggins in the BSI? British Secret Intelligence. The fate of Black Peter. Miss an important phrase in dialogues, you can always open your casebook. That is good to know. Was that a gunshot? Oh, Jesus.
Holmes.
Sherlock, what are you doing?
Holmes, will you stop that?
What is he doing? Jesus Christ, Holmes.
You are utterly mad.
You're utterly mad. I'll go get him. It reminds me of the Sherlock, the BBC program. That was really good, by the way, if you never watched it.
Stop, Holmes.
Is that you, Watson?
Yes, of course it is. And you almost killed me.
Nonsense. I was aiming for the vases.
Blindfolded.
Watson, quiet, please. I'm trying to concentrate.
Confident step. Clinking handcuffs. Policeman. Ninth step avoided. Lestrade. Yeah.
Ah, Lestrade. What is it this time?
He can see me. Well, here it is, and it's a good one, Mr. Holmes. A gentleman by the name of Peter Carey, also known as Black Peter, has been murdered.
A sailor, most probably.
What happened here?
Oh, Mr. Holmes, how could you?
It's the only exercise I've had all week. A grateful client from Limoges sent me a vase collection this morning. I couldn't think of a better use for it.
You're out of your mind.
I missed 4 out of 10.
Given you were blindfolded, that was very good. Can I have a try?
Am I the only sane one here?
I suppose that Watson is right, Inspector. A little brain work would be preferable now. Do please tell us more about Black Peter.
Peter Carey, born in 1845 and 50 years old. An ambitious sort, he achieved much success in seal and whale hunting around Scandinavia. Retired in 1884 with a small fortune. He invested his money in a property called Woodman's Lee, near Forest Row in Sussex. It was where he lived for 6 years, and where he was found dead yesterday.
Has the investigation already begun?
Yes and no. In fact, this crime is so mysterious that I would prefer you to join me down there.
Give me half an hour to prepare, Inspector.
Take your time and join me there. I have to go through the yard first. The merry men struck again.
What have they done this time?
They robbed a powder reserve. I'll meet you at Woodman's Lee, Mr. Holmes.
I
Mr.
should have
Holmes.
Mrs. Hudson here. I also have several appointments that I must keep this afternoon.
I shall go alone, then.
I shall go alone. Tab opens the casebook. Investigate the murder of Peter Lee. Inspect the crime scene at Woodman's Lee. Peter Carey. Select a suit to wear using your personal wardrobe and join Lestrade at Woodman's Lee. How do I turn pages? Inspector Lestrade pays a visit to Baker Street, where he relates to Holmes the grotesque affair that involved the former captain known as Peter Black. There is Woodman's Lee. Evidence. Peter Carey, also known as Black Peter, born in 1845 and so 50 years old. He achieved great success in whale hunting in Scandinavia. Retired in 1884, eventually moving to Woodman's Lee. Oh, conversation history. Nice. Souvenirs, echoes, portraits. I don't know what any of those do. Inspect Wood. Does that... Okay. Investigate. Oh, this is very awkward.
My analysis table. It is useful for my work. My analysis table. It is useful for my work.
My analysis table is useful for my work. What are we looking at? A brothel? I'm very sorry, madam. I did not mean to disturb you.
You go along to Peter Carey's house. Mrs. Hudson and I will take care of the mess you've made here.
Whose voice does he remind me of? Mrs. Hudson and I will take care of the mess you've made here. Very particular voice that I'm thinking of. He plays like the Pope in something. He plays the Sparrow, the High Sparrow, whatever he's called in Game of Thrones. That voice, whoever that is.
My archive. I can always consult with it if needed.
Look, listen.
You go along to Peter Carey's house. Mrs. Hudson and I will take care of the mess you've made here.
That sounds like the guy, the High Sparrow from Game of Thrones. I can't remember his name. Very famous actor. Should probably know his name.
A map of London and the surrounding area. It could be useful.
It could be useful.
A map of London and the surrounding area. It could be useful.
Then perhaps I should take it. But I shall not.
Oh, what a mess! What a terrible mess!
Sorry, Mrs. Hudson. I'm going to inspect some more stuff now.
My archive. I can always consult with it if needed. This is where I keep my post. My archive. I can always consult with it if needed.
Yeah, alright. That's the door to Holmes's room. What was these doors? That is just a door. Oh, that's the door to outside. This was the door to Watson's room. I'm breaking and entering. I'm investigating, Watson. It's what I do. Boop 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 boop. My makeup table. Is that... I could wear a top hat if I wanted. I think that means they're locked. Everything's locked. Marvelous. Some makeup, costume. Not available. Okay. That's the wardrobe, which I do need to go in. Let's have a jolly old explore around here. Ah, casual suit. My black suit. My brown suit. My green suit. My grey suit. My light suit. My bandit outfit. My farmer outfit. My morning gown. My sailor outfit. Unbuttoned suit. What do you have? Black, brown, green, grey. Light. A green. A green suit, I think. All the way at proper English, aren't we? Ah, proper English, that's us. I'm going now, Mrs. Hudson. Goodbye. I'm going to go to Woodman's Lee.
Mr. Holmes, I'm over here. Come on.
Mr. Holmes?
Mr. Holmes? I know I don't want to leave immediately. Come on, man. Is there a way for me to... Oh. Concentrate your attention on finding details that others are what? Inclined to look for. Okay.
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
Aha, he was a...
It seems...
It seems the garden was well maintained. Yes, okay. Can I go in the well-maintained garden? I cannot. Bom, 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 bom. Right, don't mind me, Lestrade. I'm doing what Sherlock does, and I'm going to explore and investigate. Okay. You are currently using a magnifying glass to look at some footprints. Footprints. I have found footprints.
These footprints appear to be quite large.
Was that the evidence?
These footprints appear to be quite large.
Okay, large footprints.
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
Nice. Good to know. Anything dodgy around the back of the house? Ooh. These dodgy whatsits.
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
The garden was well maintained everywhere, apparently. Hello, Bobby.
Mr. Holmes?
You sound just like your colleague. I can't go in there, though. Never mind. Doopity-boop-boo.
Inspector Lestrade, when will you remove my husband's body? It's sacrilegious to leave him here like this.
As soon as we can, Mrs. Carey, I assure you. Allow me to introduce you to Mr. Sherlock Holmes. He's a detective. No doubt you've heard of him. I'll wait for you in front of the cabin, Mr. Holmes.
Thanks, Lestrade.
My condolences, Mrs. Carey.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
Anything unusual that night?
Madam, Can you tell me if you saw or heard anything unusual upon the night of the murder?
At 2 o'clock in the morning, I heard a terrible scream, but I thought nothing of it then. He would scream all the time when he was drunk.
Can you please tell me what occurred on the evening of the murder?
Well, Peter got drunk in the evening. He was in such a terrible temper. Usually whenever that happened, he'd stay all night drinking in his cabin before passing out.
Do you remember at what time you found your husband's body?
In the morning, at around 7 o'clock, I noticed the cabin door was open, but I didn't go in to take a look, for I knew my husband would not have liked it. At around 10 o'clock, I dared to glance in through the door and, oh dear.
So she's saying he was drinking all night. She heard a scream at 2 o'clock. At 7 o'clock, the door was open. And at 10 o'clock, she saw the body.
Was your husband accustomed to receiving visitors?
Oh no, I don't think so. I mean, he didn't really have many friends. He lived quite an isolated life here, after his retirement.
The garden is very large and well maintained. Do you employ someone to look after it?
It is true, there is a lot of work, but my husband took care of it himself.
I've run out of conversation choices. I will now click this button. What am I doing? Birdhouse. Gloves. Locket. Cloth. I don't know what any of this fucking means.
You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Carey. Nevertheless, I believe it will be less of a burden for you soon.
Yes, life with Peter was never easy, but he was still my husband.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh my goodness, but how do you know about that?
Never mind.
What?
You have indeed.
Yes.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh my goodness, but how do you know about that?
So I have to press the Q button really quickly, but then I can take my time to choose the evidence that confronts the...
You undertook a pilgrimage to the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela when you were young. That much is evident from the rosary in your hand. The shortest route for the pilgrim from England to Spain is from Plymouth. I believe that you met Peter Carey as a young sailor there, and you married him soon afterwards.
That is indeed what happened, Mr. Holmes. How extraordinary.
Thank you, madam.
Who could do such a thing? My poor husband.
My poor husband. Right. That's an interesting mechanic. Press Q fast. Then take your time to establish which of these things is true. Okay. Where's Lestradat? I don't think I investigated anything around here, though. Or indeed around here. Suspicious.
Mr. Holmes.
Wait, where is the Strad? Oh, down here.
Peter Carey's body is inside the cabin. We took care not to touch anything.
Good.
The door is locked.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Holmes, and I'll open it. I locked it yesterday to ensure that no one should enter the cabin and tamper with the evidence.
Ah, good thinking.
Hello, hello, hello.
What is it, Lestrade?
It seems to me that someone has tried to force it, Mr. Holmes.
Let me see.
Somebody has tried to force it. Door lock.
These scratches are fresh. You're right. Someone tried to force open the door.
I swear these scratches were not here yesterday.
Our mysterious visitor came here last night.
Well, he's not the man for the job. This lock is not a difficult one.
Perhaps he did not have the right tool.
What is happening? Oh, Jesus.
What a terrible way to die.
Okay, come on. What's going on in here?
The tooth of a sperm whale, probably from one of Peter Carey's catches.
Suspiciously empty.
This place is not covered with dust, like the rest of the shelf. An object was taken from here. It was larger than a book. A box or a small chest, perhaps.
What was that F?
This place is not covered with dust, like the rest of the shelf. An object was taken from here. It was larger than a book. A box or a small chest, perhaps.
Okay, I pressed F. Did that do anything? Oh, I see. I see.
The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain. Harpoons for hunting whales. Old navigation instruments, nothing interesting. Peter Carey's boots. They look to be a size 8.
Size 8 is a smaller size than the large footprints that we talked about outside, right? Rotate in any direction. Okay.
The initials PC have been crudely burned. A sailor's work. This aroma is familiar, but to recognize it, I must construct my associations in one picture.
Huh? I must construct my associations in one picture. Okay, so that goes like that. Or maybe it has to go this way around. Like... Okay, that looks more like it. Right. That goes there, and that goes there. And then like... Oh, come on, how close does it have to be Unless it's this way. No, it's definitely this way.
Yes, this is a coarse tobacco, quite strong and very popular among sailors.
There we go, I got it.
Someone drank from this glass recently. Someone drank from this glass recently.
2 glasses. Hmm.
Rum, a sailor's drink. It seemed that Captain Carey was enjoying a drink before he met his death.
Okay, so she was telling the truth.
The Sea Unicorn. She was the ship that Peter Carey commanded. This wooden handle is plain and solid. This blood is from the pool underneath the dead body. Peter Carey tried to defend himself with this knife, but he did not succeed.
Oh good, a notepad.
JHN are probably the initials of the owner of this notebook.
Okay. How do I...
The pattern of the blood stain indicates that the notebook was not lying on the floor prior to the crime, but it was dropped into the pool of blood after the death of Peter Carey. These abbreviations mean something, but what? Peter Carey was impaled to the wall by a whaling harpoon.
A whaling harpoon?
Peter Carey was fully dressed. He was not caught by surprise. It is possible that he knew his murderer. This man is in his 50s, yet he still looks quite strong.
What does B do? Find a pair of related clues and they will form a deduction. Red colour signifies an unachievable clue combination. So what? What am I doing? Break-in attempts in the notebook. Draw a clear picture of the crime by forming your deductions from the combination of clues. An ambush must be made tonight to see if the break-in attempt will be repeated.
Someone was here yesterday. They attempted to force the door to gain entry.
That is implying that it's not.
The weapon fully penetrated the body. The force of the blow was immense.
Okay, now it's done. Now it's done. Okay.
Well, Mr. Holmes, what do you think?
I think that we are lucky.
And why is that?
Because of last night's attempted break-in.
Oh, you've lost me.
It is very probable that whoever came here hoped to find the door open. They tried to force it with a knife blade, but they failed. What will they do? Why, return tonight, when they will be better prepared.
Aha! So what do you propose?
We shall remain on the outside, near the window, where we stand the best chance of catching sight of our visitor. Well, gentlemen, ready your pistols. We have a long night ahead of us.
Mr. Holmes?
Mr. Holmes?
We need to find a good place for an ambush. Perhaps behind Carey's cabin, near the window.
Yeah, but first I want to use these boots.
These boots don't match the footprints.
Ah, so he didn't impale himself with a whaling harpoon. That is good to know.
These footprints.
That is very good to know.
Mr. Holmes?
Do you not say anything else? Hello, lady.
Is this your husband's tobacco pouch?
I'm not sure. It might be, but he hadn't smoked in a very long time.
Your husband's private papers. Do you know where they are?
There was a small tin box, barely larger than a book. He kept his papers there. It should be somewhere in his cabin.
Thank you, madam.
Who could do such a thing? My poor husband.
My poor husband. So, investigate the murder, organize an ambush. I completed those things. Then the evidence we've got. Peter Carey's boots don't match the footprints. That means there was another man at Woodman Lee. A notebook found at the crime scene with the initials JHN. There are following abbreviations inside. Lots. A sharp knife was found on the floor near the body of Black Peter. The blade shows no signs of use. Tobacco pouch made from sealskin, which was on the table inside Peter's cabin. The initials PC had been crudely burned into it. A sailor's work. But he didn't smoke in a very long time, so why would his... Oh, so maybe he offered tobacco to someone else, but is old tobacco good? I don't know. We've got ship's logs, we've got an outline in the dust where a box has been taken. Judith is a woman with an uneasy life due to her unhappy marriage with Peter. She's a very religious Christian Catholic woman who undertook a St. James Way pilgrimage when she was young. Unidentified footprints left recently. They may have been left by the murderer. Perhaps I could find a pair of boots that would match them. The garden and field are well kept. Capable gardener works here. Peter Carey, also known as Black Peter. I already read that. Judith is from the country, somewhere near the ancient pine woods of Inverness and Strathspey in Scotland, where the crested titbird can be found. She is religious and undertook a St. James Way pilgrimage to the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela when she was a young woman. Peter Carey was born in 1845 and was 50 years of age. He was a daring and successful seal and whale hunter. He commanded the whaler Sea Unicorn of Dundee for many successful expeditions. In 1884, he retired and travelled for some years. For the remaining 6 years of his life, he lived at Woodman's Lee. Okay. So we want to go to an ambush spot by the...
This looks like the perfect hiding place.
Okay.
Shh. Did you hear that? There's someone there. I'm gonna collar him.
I'll be right behind you.
Police! Hold it right there.
I don't know how to get around.
Mr. Holmes?
Mr.
All right, my
Holmes.
fine fellow. Who are you and what are you doing here?
You're detectives, I suppose. You imagine that I'm connected with the death of Captain Carey. I assure you I'm innocent.
Innocent? And what are you doing in his cabin?
Shall I tell you? You came to retrieve what you had lost after killing Peter Carey, but we were here waiting for you.
What is your name?
John Hopley Nelligan, but I didn't...
Do you deny that you came here yesterday?
No, but yes, it's just that I couldn't...
I'm tired of this. Off we go to the yard. Tomorrow, I'll see that you're put in front of the judge.
What? But you can't! I'm not... It's a terrible mistake!
Enough. You can explain all of that to the judge. You're coming with me to the yard.
But...
In light of recent events, it seems evident that your coming here was unnecessary. All the same, I'm very grateful to you, Mr. Holmes.
You are welcome, Inspector. But please don't be too hard on our young fellow. I would like to question him tomorrow morning.
His hands are covered in blood. Weren't they? All right.
Mr. Holmes?
Hey, it's you. We met yesterday, remember?
Good morning, Mr. Holmes. Can I help you?
Good morning, Constable. I would like to speak to the fellow who was arrested at Woodman's Lee last night.
Ah, the young man. He's waiting in the interrogation room. You can go straight through. His belongings are held in the evidence room.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Policeman.
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
You sound just like every other policeman in England. It's incredible. Extraordinary.
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
I'm sure you are.
Mr. Holmes?
Can I go upstairs? Excuse me. Excuse me, sir. Well, apparently not. But that's okay. What's this? That's the staff room. I'm not allowed in there. This is the evidence room. Let's have a little gander in here, shall we?
These are the suspect's belongings. The notebook that we found on Peter Carey's cabin floor. These abbreviations mean something, but what? These abbreviations mean something, but what? And partner, 1883. From R. Dawson. To my friend, Dawson. I've seen this name before. Perhaps my archive holds the answer. A handkerchief with the initials J.H.N. A pocket knife. It was used to force the door of Peter Carey's cabin.
Dialogue, search archives, a heavy gold ring, blah blah blah. Can I just go back home then? Oh. Apparently yes. Oh, well, that was a hard day's work. Shabba-dabba-dabba-dabba-bow. Rings engraving, a heavy gold ring with the inscription from R. Dawson to my friend and partner 1883. I want to look at what would Dawson be? From R. Dawson to my friend and partner.
That is not the one I need. That is not the one I need.
Okay.
That is not the one I need. 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 That is not the one I need.
Okay. I thought it'd be in.
That is not the one I need. 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 That is not the one I need.
Ah, okay, that makes more sense. Railway, bankruptcy, Fenian, Dawson and Nelligan are bankrupt. Dawson and Nelligan Investment Fund bankrupt, Nelligan missing. The Dawson and Nelligan Investment Fund, a regional banking institution based in Cornwall, has declared bankruptcy as a result of heavy losses in its loan portfolio and has accordingly been assigned for liquidation. It was the 23rd largest bank in Britain, and its bankruptcy was the second largest on record. The liquidation of the company is a pure catastrophe for many Cornwall families. Joshua Nelligan, one of the bankers, has since mysteriously disappeared. He was last seen aboard his yacht preparing for departure to Norway. Norway! Elsker deg. Nelligan is wanted both by police and his creditors.
Here it is. Now I begin to understand that young man's story, but I am still unclear as to what connects him with the murder. It is time to ask him. My archive. I can always consult with it if...
You sure can, Holmes. You sure can. Right. Was there anything else on this evidence required? I don't think I can do anything else here. That's fine. Shabba-dabba-dabba-bow-bow. That is...
Locked.
Oh, the morgue. Let's go to the morgue. Fresh sheets. A lovely dead body that's been left here, I presume. Very nice. I can hear the clip-clop of horses outside. But other than that, there's bugger all to do in here. Okay, off we go. Right, what we got? Interrogation room.
Mr. Holmes?
And the holding cell. Who's that over there? He's a very naughty boy. What's this? Oh, it holds the light up. How strange.
I have heard the story of Dawson and Nelligan, the West Country bankers.
Yes, Joshua Nelligan was my father.
I am aware that it had a bad ending. When the bank failed, it ruined half the families of Cornwall, whereupon Joshua Nelligan disappeared.
My father was under extraordinary pressure. Dawson had retired. I was only 10 years of age at the time, but it was still old enough to feel the shame that befell our family. My father was convinced that he could pay off all his debts if the creditors gave him time. He set sail for Hammerfest in Norway in his small yacht, just a few days before an arrest warrant was issued. He left my mother a list of the securities he was taking. No word was ever heard from him again. We believe that his vessel went down, taking with it everyone and everything on board.
Thank you for the story, Mr. Nelligan. At last, we are making some progress.
What do you mean at last? I've only just started talking to the guy.
Does this notebook belong to you?
Yes. But where did you find it? I did not know... I thought I'd lost it at the hotel.
What do these abbreviations mean?
Oh, no. I beg you, I can't. If I told you, it would only make things worse.
But I will find out eventually, Mr. Nelligan. The sea knife was found near Carey's body. Tell me, Mr. Nelligan, did Mr. Carey try to defend himself or to attack you with it?
I don't know. I didn't kill anyone.
The police seized this valuable ring from you. Whose is it?
I didn't steal it from anyone. It has always belonged to me.
Well-kept garden. Tobacco knife, sharp knife, rings, I guess the engraving.
The ring's date of engraving is many years ago. You would have been a child then, hardly in any position to receive such an item from a partner.
We already know it's his dad's. I think I did that the wrong way around. Let's go back as far as it'll go. That's some expensive fabric. that's been patched up. Why'd you wear your shabby cap? You're poor, aren't you? You're a poor man with a thin neck and scars and calluses. With your short sleeves. And your elaborate buttons.
So, Mr. Nelligan, who is the true owner of the ring?
The ring is mine.
I found it. Would you not just say the ring's engraving again? Or should we go for father's jacket this time?
No, Mr. Nelligan. I believe that the ring had belonged to your father.
Oh, but how do you know?
The jacket you are wearing is made of an expensive fabric that only a man of exceptional wealth could afford. You do not seem to me to be a rich man, Mr. Nelligan. Furthermore, the garment is ill-fitting. It is quite clear that it belonged to someone else, most probably your father. With your father gone and taking with him the family's wealth, as a little boy you had to find yourself a manual job, and it was most probably cleaning fish. You cut your hands often while working. I can tell from the scars.
I'm speechless, Mr. Holmes. It all happened exactly as you say.
Interesting. Joshua Nelligan and Peter Carey were both at sea in Norway. There is definitely some connection between Peter Carey and Joshua Nelligan's disappearance.
I can now... Wait. I'm so confused by what I'm doing here. Peter Carey was armed with his knife, but he did not have time to use it. Peter Carey's body was impaled to the wall with a harpoon through the chest like a butterfly. Notebook with a blood stain indicating it was dropped after the murder. It belonged to... Can we do that with that? Which gives us... The break-in attempt were made in order to recover the notebook that had been lying in a pool of the victim's blood. This proves the guilt of the person who made these attempts. Pinned to the wall and swift actions, maybe? Task experiment required. We need to find out whether an unskilled and untrained man could use a harpoon well enough to kill by fully piercing a body.
I need to stage a reconstruction. I am sure that Watson would be happy to oblige.
What am I doing here? I've done nothing wrong.
Can I not do more of those thingies? Nelligan is approximately 19 years old. He was raised in wealth, but after the desertion of his father 10 years ago, he and his family fell into poverty. He worked to earn money by cleaning fish. Despite undertaking such manual work for a considerable time, Nelligan remains physically weak. Right. Come on, Watson.
A spot of whaling, Watson? Would you care to take part?
Are you serious?
No, but we do need to clarify what happened on the night of Black Peter's murder.
A reenactment, then? Is something bothering you?
The sailor's knife, Watson. Why was it on the floor?
Peter Carey attempted to defend himself?
It is possible, but if that is the case, then it alters many things.
I don't quite follow you.
Tell me, my friend, what is the animal closest to man, morphologically, I mean?
Ah, I see what you're getting at, Holmes. You asked me that once before. On the Ripper case, I believe. Do you want to slit some more pigs' throats?
No.
Thank goodness for that.
I wish to impale one with a harpoon.
Wonderful.
Watson, let us pay a visit to our butcher friend in Whitechapel. We require the carcass of a well-fed pig.
And the harpoon?
One of the harpoons on the wall of Black Peter's cabin should do quite nicely.
These were my deductions, right? And now I can go. So, break-in attempt. He was a non-smoker. She said he took care of the garden himself. It doesn't sound feasible. Marvelous. Okay. I'm not missing anything just yet. That means I got it right first time. I'm so clever. Exit. Can I do that anytime? I can. Okay.
That should do it. Now I am ready for the experiment.
Should we go talk to her again, see if she's got anything new to add? Anything new, lady?
Who could do such a thing? My poor husband.
Yes.
Well, here we are in the preparation room. I can't say that I like the smell of it much. What do you intend to do?
To indulge myself in a little experiment. The challenge of lancing a pig's carcass with a heavy harpoon.
A little experiment?
Stand aside, Watson. This might be dangerous. I am not well practiced in this exercise. Yet.
Holmes, you should aim for the mark in order to perform the most reliable test. Holmes, you should try to aim better and throw as hard as you can.
I tried. I really did.
This is the best possible result that I could get. Do you see, Watson? Throwing a harpoon and pinning a man to a wall requires either exceptional strength and training or diabolical luck.
If it was luck, then it was a chance in 1,000 that night.
Well, yes. Let us leave now.
All right. But before we go, I suppose I'll have to pay for all these carcasses you've happily mangled.
Very well, but please hurry.
Of course.
I'm sorry, I only wanted to do one. I wish I was a better thrower. So it's going to be pinned to the wall and strength requirement. Some of the facts may be interpreted differently. You can always change the picture of a crime by choosing between mutually exclusive. There is a remote possibility that an unskilled and untrained man could manage to pin Peter Carey to the wall with a harpoon. Requires much greater strength than that of the average man to be able to pierce a man's chest with a harpoon all the way through to the wall. A degree of skill would most likely be necessary. Two men in cooperation might achieve the same result. Yeah, you go with the more obvious one, right? Okie doke. Anything else? Inspect the crime scene at Woodman's Lee. It was all completed. What was it? Investigate the murder. John Negligent seems not to be a usual thief. What is his role? Ship's log for the year 1883 might put some light on the connection between Peter Carey. Oh, ship's log for 1883. Let's go check those logs.
"1883. That's the one I need. This is the crew list of the Sea Unicorn.
Peter Carey Master, Charles Allison, Henry Joy, James Lancaster, Patrick Cairns, Pablo Contravlo, blah 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 blah.
This is the crew list of the Sea Unicorn. Log notes for June. Nothing unusual.
Light breeze through the day. Saw a whale tail alongside at southeast. Just at night, 2 more ships in sight. Lat 7620 and Lon 2045. Wednesday, June 14th. Moderate wind from the east. Saw no whales today. Monday, 19th of June. Light and variable wind through the day. Saw other whaling ship far away to the north. Saturday, June 24th. Strong wind from the south. Will go to the north. 1 year ago, there were a lot of whales.
Log notes for July. Nothing special.
Light wind from the north to north-northeast. Saw 2 whales at northeast. 6th of July. Strong wind from the north all day. Squally wind from the northeast at night. Monday, July 18th. Strong breeze from southeast. York got sick. Saw whale tail at east in company with Allison and Joy. Sunday, moderate wind from the east. Saw no whales today.
Log notes for August. These pages have been torn away.
Rather squally wind through the day and night, and squally wind from northeast. Helmsman suspects incoming storm.
Log notes for August. These pages have been torn away. Canadian Pacific Railway, CPR, a torn piece from a bond certificate. I have seen this abbreviation somewhere very recently. There are 3 ways of discovering what happened in August of 1883 aboard the Sea Unicorn. The first 2 of these will require speaking with a dead man. The last would be to locate vital witnesses, the sailors involved in this whale hunt campaign.
Yes, indeed. So then where are they? I guess you go back to your base of operations, right?
Something new, Watson. I have the list of sailors who were aboard the Sea Unicorn. We shall soon learn what happened to Nelligan's father. I have only to find them. Let us hope they're still working at the harbour.
I think that if you pretend you're from Scotland Yard...
I doubt it, Watson. And really, I would prefer that all of this remains quiet for now. But I have another solution. I'll call in the specialist.
And who might they be?
The secret police division of Baker Street.
Ah, you mean young Wiggins and his gang?
Yes. Believe me, you'll receive more useful assistance from these little urchins than from a dozen yard detectives. Those children are everywhere. They see and hear everything, and they are cunning. All they lack is organization. I'll summon them.
How will you do that?
There is always a watch beneath our window. I have only to call him.
Oh, that's good. That's very handy. I have a dog!
Brave Toby. The best nose in the British Empire.
I'm in love. And with that, on this incredibly beautiful bombshell, I will call it a day, I think. Thanks very much for watching, guys. It's been a pleasure. Nice new series, something, a little bit of change of pace, a little bit of mystery detective work going on. We are the one and only Sherlock Holmes. The rooms really reminds me of the Sherlock show from the BBC drama. So if you've not seen that, go and watch it because it's very, very, very good. I'll be streaming tomorrow, probably. So hopefully I'll see you then. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.